Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to learn a new topic, structures in C language. It is very important. Definitely we are going to get a question on this topic. So, what is the structures and why we are going to study the structures? We know how to declare a variable. How to declare a variable, we have to specify the data type and we have to specify the name of the variable. Now, suppose if we want to store a student information, student contains his name and his roll number. So the name is a character, it's a set of characters, and number is a some numerical value. So name is a one data type and number is another data type. So if we want to store the different data types, we are going to use the different variables. Instead of using the different variables, we are going to derive a new data type with the help of the primary data type only. So we are going to use the structures. So structure is a user-defined data type in C language, which allows us to combine the data different types of together. Structures help us to construct a complex data type which is more meaningful. It is somewhat similar to an array, but an array holds the data of similar type only. So if you are going to take it as a chart name of 30, so we are going to store the only character values only. If we are going to declare an integer array int a of 10, so we are going to store the only integer values only. But if we want to store different data types, so the arrays cannot be whole. The arrays can store the only homogeneous elements only. Whereas the structures, we are going to store the heterogeneous elements. That means different data types, values we are going to store under a structure. Structures on the other hand can store the data of any type, which is practically more useful. For example, we are going to write a program to store the student information, which will have student's name, his age, branch, permanent address, father's name, some etc. Some information we want to store. That means we have to store the different values, different types of values we are going to store under a particular student record. So here name is a character data type, values that is an array, age is a number, suppose it is a 20 or 30, its age is a numerical value, branch, CSC, IT, like we are going to store, it is a string, it's a character array, like we are going to store, which include the string values, integer values, etc. So arrays can be store only the similar data type values only. So we will require the something which can hold the data of different types of together. So then we are going to use the structures. We are going to use the structures. Structure is nothing but in In other languages, olden languages, they are going to call it as a records in COBOL, Pascal. Like there, we are going to call it is as a record. Here also we are going to call as a records, but it's not the we are not directly called as a record. It is a information. How to defining a structure? We are going to use a keyword struct. With the help of a keyword struct, 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 it is a keyword. So keywords always we are going to write in a lower case. Struct we are going to write in a lower case. So struct defines a new data type which is a collection of primary and derived data types. The general syntax is we are going to struct keyword and optionally we are going to give the tag name and open curly braces, closed curly braces. Within the curly braces, we are going to specify the members. We are going to call as a members, member 1, member 2. Like we can be declare any number of members. And optionally, we are going to specify the structure variables and it should be terminated by the semicolon. It's very, very important. The general syntax of the structure is we are going to use the keyword struct and tag name. Within the curly braces, we are going to specify the members and optionally we are going to give the structure variables at the time of declaring a structure. And we have to terminate it by the semicolon. We have to remember this point. You must be terminated with the semicolon. That gives the definition of the structure is over. That is the end of. So we can see in the syntax above, we start with the struct keyword. Then it is optional to provide you structure a name. We suggest we to give it a name then inside the curly braces. We have to mention all the member variables which are nothing but the normal C language variables of different types like int, float, array, etc. After the closing curly brace, we can specify one or more structure variables. Again, this is an optional. And we have to remember one note, that is after closing the curly braces in the structure type, declaration must be followed by a semicolon. Must be followed by a semicolon. So what is the general syntax? What is the general form? We have to give the struct keyword followed by the structure tag name, open curly braces, closed curly braces. Within these curly braces, what are the members? We are going to declare the members and the curly braces are end with the semicolon. So here I am going to show an example, that is the student type data type I am going to create with the help of the struct keyword. Struct student, I am going to give the one of the member name as a name, another member as a age, another member as a branch, and another member as a gender. So here name is a variable, it is a character array. So name, we are going to store the character values. So we are going to declare a character array with the size 25. Age is a integer value we are going to declare. Branch also is a character array. And gender we are going to store either male or female like. So we are going to store only one character. That's why we are going to declare a character variable. So individually we can be declare all these variables individually, but here in the structure we are going to group them into a single unit, and we are going to give a new name for these members. The name of this structure as a student. So student is a, now it is a new derived data type. So here the struct student declares a structure to hold the details of a student, which consists of the 4 data fields. So here we are going to, it is called as a members or data fields. The member, the first member is name, second member is age, third member as branch, and fourth member as a gender. Or we are going to call it as a field, or we are going to call as a members. Now here for each member they are going to, a separate memory location is allocated for these members. Now here name, it is declare a character array, the size with 25. Age integer data type, branch is a character array size with 10, and gender is a character variable. So for each members they are going to, a separate memory is allocated. So if you want to, how much memory is allocated for this structure is total name taken as a 25 bytes of memory. Age is an integer data type, so it will be taken as a 2 bytes of memory. Branch is a character array, it is a 10 bytes, and gender as a character, they will be taken as a 1 byte. So total 25 plus 2 bytes, 22, 25 plus 2, 27, plus 10, 37, plus 1, 38. So the student type, structure type, they are going to taken as a memory as a 38 of memory will be allocated. For each student type structure variable, they are going to occupy say 38 bytes of memory. So these fields or members are called as a elements or members. Each member can have different data types. Like in this case, we have the name as an array of chart data type, and age as a integer data type. So student is the name of the structure, and it is called as a structure tag. So at the time of I'm going to given the general syntax, struct and tag name. Here the tag name as a student. It is a student, it is as a tag name. How to declare a structure variable? Now we are going to declare a structure variable in different ways. One of the way is we are going to declare a structure variable struct student. It's one of the member as a name, age, branch, and gender. Now here, after this is the declaration of the structure. Now if you want to create a variables of type student type, so we have to give a struct keyword. We have to give a struct keyword and name of the structure as a student. Now here S1 and S2. Now I'm going to declare the two structure variables of type student. So generally we are going to declare a variables like int x comma y. What is a x and y? X and y we are going to call as a variables of type integer. Here I am going to declare the two variables s1 and s2. And s1, s2 are what type of variables? Those are the student type variables. So we are going to declaring a variables. How to declare a variables? Structure variables. We have to give a struct keyword. We have to give a struct keyword. It's very important. Struct keyword and name of the structure as a student and s1, s2. These are the two structure variables. First, here we have to specify the structure template. So at the time of these lines, simply they are going to, the memory is not allocated, just it is a template is created. At the time of declaring a variable, only the memory is allocated. Until there is no memory is allocated, when you are going to write this line struct student s1 comma s2, at that instant only the memory is allocated. Until there is no memories allocation is takes place, just these lines will be template, just a template will be created, but memory is not allocated. Only at the time of declaring the variables, only the values are, only the memories are allocated. Now here, at the time of creating a structure, suppose if we want to give the name initial value, here some Rama, age as 28, it is not allowed. Individual members internally at the time of declaring a structure, we can't assign a values. It is possible to declare variables along with the definition or after the variable. We'll see. Declaring the structure variables with a structure definition. At the time of declaring the structure definition itself, we are going to create a variables. Now here, struct student and the members I'm going to declare s1 comma x2. These are the variable declaration. At the time of define the structure, we are going to declare the variables s1 and s2. We are going to declare the s1, s2. Now here the student, struct student. Here student is optional. We are going to, student is optional. So we can be declare a struct without the student. We are going to give the members name, age, gender like, and we can be declare the variables s1 comma s2. But later if we want to create a new variable, another variable, we can't create. Here the student is at the time of declaring the general form, I'm going to say struct tag name is optional. But when you are going, it is an optional. At the time of definition of the structure, we are going to declare a variables s1 and s2. But later, if you want to declare another variable, it is not possible. So that's why generally we are going to give the name of the structure, struct student here. Now later you can be create any number of variables of type student. We are going to declare any number of type variables student. So here s1 and s2 are variables of structure student. However, this approach is not much recommended. So it is we can be right, but it's not recommended. So we are now, up to now, we know how to declare a structure variable. Now after declaring a structure variable, we know we are going to declare a variable x of type integer, int x. Okay. Now, at the time of declaring a variable, we are going to give a initial value like int x equal to 10. What is the meaning of this statement? At the time of declaring a variable, we are going to initialize a value with the 10. Like we can be declare the, or we can be initialize the structures also. We can be initialize the structures also. Now here I'm going to create one structure variable student, variable name as a s1, struct student s1 equal, not the equal, it is called as an assignment operator. It is called as an assignment operator, and we have the four members are there: name, age, branch, and gender. Now here the name I'm going to specify as a SLVD Sharma. It is a string constant, so that's why we are going to put in a double quotes, comma. The members are separated by a operator called comma, and the age as a 49. I'm going to specify the value. It is a integer value, and CSC, it is a branch, it is a character array. So we are going to specify the within the double quotes, and gender, it is a mistake. We are going to put in a double quotes. Don't put the double quotes. You should be write in a single quotes. M, if you are, you know, when you are going to put in a double quotes, what is, it is a string constant. So how much memory is required for this variable? For storing this M, we require the 2 bytes of memory. But here it is a gender. They are going to given as a only char. That means only it will be given as a 1 byte of memory only. So just it's a typing mistake. Don't put in a double quotes. You have to put in a single quotes. These values are put in a braces, curly braces, and it should be terminated by the semicolon. So this is the one of the approach, that is the initialization of the structure variable. So how to initialize the structure variable? We have to specify the struct keyword, name of the structure as a student, and name of the variable we are going to given as a name as a s1, and we are going to initialize these members. The s1 is a variable of type student. The student, it contains the 4 members. These 4 member values we are going to specified in a curly braces. The values are separated by a comma and terminated with the semicolon. And here I'm going to take in as a another example. We are going to declare a one patient type patient. The patient, we are going to store the patient information. The patient information as height, weight, and age. Here height is in the float data type, weight as integer data type, age as integer data type. Now I'm going to declare one structure patient variable as p1. So I'm going to initialize this p1 variable, structure variable, struct patient p1 equal to the values here. First one as a float data type, second and third members are the integer values. The values are separated by the commas. The values are separated by the commas. So this is an initialization of a member. It is a initialization of the members. So We can be assign individual members also. We can be initialization of the each member separately. So we are going to declare a patient structure type variable name as a P1. Now here P1 we have to use the member operator. This dot is called as a member operator. So individual elements if you want to access, we have to specify structure variable dot. You should be use the dot. It is called as a member operator or it is called as a dot operator. P1 structure variable dot member, and I'm going to, this is a, very well, it's a assignment operator. We are going to assigning this value 180.75 to this member. So this is called as a dot is called as a member operator. It is called as a member operator. So we know how to declare a variable. We know how to initialize the structure variable. Now we are going to know the how to access the members. How to access the members. Structure members can be accessed and assigned values in a number of ways. Structure members have no meaning individually without the structure. In order to assign a value to any structure member, the member name must be linked with the structure variable using a dot operator, also called as a period or member access operator. So if you want to access the member of the structure, you should be use the member operator. How to access the member with the help of the structure variable dot, we have to specify the member name. So here we are going to write the one example. So here I'm going to declare a template, a student template. Here I'm going to declare the S1 is a one variable, and I'm going to S1 dot age equal to 18. That is a dot operator. Now here individual, I'm going to assign the name. What is the name? It is a character array. Directly we can't assign a value. S1 dot name equal to SLVVD Sharma. Directly we can't assign value. If you are going to give an S1 dot name equal to SLVVD Sharma within the quotations, we are going to get an error message. So we have to use a function strcpy. What is strcpy? It is a function which is used to copy one string to another string. Now here SLVVD Sharma, it is a string. This string will be assigned to the name of member S1. S1 dot name. Now here, how to we are going to display the values. Suppose if we want to display the name of the student, we have to specify the, printf name of the student, %s. We are going to use the strings if you want to display %s. So S1 dot name. What is S1 dot name? S1 here is a structure member, structure variable dot with the member name. What is the member name? Here is a name. So if you want print the age, we have to specify the structure variable S1, structure variable name S1 dot, and its a member name. What's its member name? The member name is age. The member name is age. So if we are going to run this program, we are going to get the output. Name of the student is SLVVD Sharma, and age of the student is 18. Now in this example, I'm going to give the values, initial values, but user can be enter the data from the keyboard. How to read the data from the keyboard? We know very well scanf function. By using the scanf function, we are going to read the data from the keyboard. Suppose if we want to read the a name value, so we are going to give scanf percentage s within the double quotes, comma. We want to read the name. So name is a member. It's a member of S1. So we have to specify the S1 dot name. So if you want to read the age of the student, we are going to specify scanf percentile d, comma, address of S1 dot age. This is the way we are going to access the values, and we can be read the data from the keyboard. User can enter the values. So this is the program we are going to read.